Something that is so important for you to understand in your career and your career growth journey is the organizational networks at your company. And what I mean by organizational networks is essentially the flow of information and communication within your company, which typically happens through technology, people, and processes. So I'm strictly referring to the people portion of this because the people technically control the processes and the technology portions, or pillars, or whatever you want to call them. By doing this, you can identify opportunities for collaboration. You can understand how to improve communication. You can increase efficiency because you see where the bottlenecks are and how to remove them. You obviously build relationships and trust because you're networking with a lot of people outside of the normal circle that you would typically find yourself in. We really need to think about the diversity of the networks that we build, particularly within our organizations, because this allows us to really have influence and hold a position in terms of organizational networks. And by hold a position, there are different types of leaders within organizational networks, and these can be informal or formal positions. And these people help or deter the flow of information and communication and collaboration. Here's an example. Have you gotten an email from your organization where there's a big change that's being announced, and instead of just outright believing that that change is true, or understanding the context behind it, you go to somebody within the organization that you trust and you ask them about this change? And there are other people that do the same and they go to that person as well. Well, that person holds a position as a network leader within the organization, because even if they are not a formal leader, they have people coming to them to really kind of validate this information. This is a really powerful position. So there are all of these layers of power that also come into play here, because this person has the power to gatekeep information or to stop the flow of information, and which could either lead to positive changes within the organization or negative changes within the organization. So you can see how important these positions are and how powerful they are. There's lots of different types of network leader roles within an organization. So I'll name a few of them. There's the popular or the connector network leader, and these are the people that have lots of connections. They're very popular within the organization. People come to them to validate information. So they can have a huge impact on transformational change for the good within an organization because they really help energize the org. There are network leaders who build bridges. So they are able to be involved in various subgroups within the organization and find common ground and collaboration between these groups. Obviously, very beneficial for the culture and the growth of an organization. There are network leaders who are very powerful when it comes to information. They have expertise, they have knowledge. People come to them for advice. People come to them to validate information, processes, things that are closely related to maybe the product or the organization, how it functions. There are gatekeepers, and these are the folks that have the ability to approve something or to not approve something. These typically are very busy people. So it is again, a role that holds a lot of power and influence, and also can be a huge area where things get stuck. There are network leaders who are, they may not be the most popular, but their opinion is highly respected and influential within the network. Formal leaders may go to them to talk about what's going on in the organization and get their opinion on things. So you can see how important it is to identify what the flow of information looks like in your organization, who the network leaders are, if they're in formal or informal leadership positions. Of course, what position you hold, if any, as an organizational network leader. Understanding this is going to make your job so much easier. You know who to go to. You know where things are sitting. You understand where the bottlenecks are. You know where to find efficiency. You know who to collaborate with. So many benefits to identifying the organizational networks within your org. You know who holds the influence, who holds the power, what kind of influence. I mean, this stuff is so important, you guys. It is the reason why people are successful in their career. Yes, you can be good at your job, but if you don't understand the organizational networks, you have to get this. You have to understand this. This is the stuff that leaders, executives, C-level people understand. And if they don't understand it, they call in consultants to map this stuff out and tell them what's happening. So just start asking yourself, how does information flow through my organization? If I receive news, or if we have a meeting and there's an important thing to push out, like, who gets that information? Who do those people tell? And then how does it end up getting to, maybe the lowest level employee? Like, what does that flow look like? And who are the people that are controlling that flow of information? Understand this. Just start researching it and start making notes on it. And then look at your own circle, your own, network at your org. What kind of network leaders are in my circle? Is it diversified? Do I have people of influence, people of power that hold different types of power, different types of influence in my circle? If not, go to your map and start building these relationships. Do it. This is a huge catalyst for those that want a seat at the executive table.